Damn that.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, they're great. They're a good band and everything. But yeah, everybody's like, yeah, why they brought their own band? I'm like, no, that was RIT.
Wait, are they with
Yeah, so
Syracuse?
RIT, yeah, maybe put on some gold or blue.
Yeah, something just change it up a little bit for us. But thank you for coming out, anyways.
Capinos played excellent in goal.
Joey had a pretty good game too, as well. He was struggling a little bit with his distribution, which is, like I said, you just played a game against Baltimore, got lit up like a Christmas tree, and
Hmm.
to come into a game, so that was about his only thing. He had a few problems distributing, and once he started just throwing the ball and got off the rest of it, he had a great game.
With the low scoreboard too, it must be a little difficult to distribute as well.
It is, you definitely, and once, obviously it doesn't sit dead center either. So
Right, it's over one of the blue lines.
yep, it's
Or
over,
yellow lines in
yeah,
soccer.
yep. So it's over one of the yellow lines. So it
Which
is
is
a little bit
another.
different.
That's another anomaly, like the Blue Cross. The short ice, but also for some reason they built the scoreboard over one of the blue lines.
And it's low. I remember with the arena football team, they could
yeah,
never,
they always
they
would
could
hit the scoreboard.
never
always.
get by because it was
Yeah.
just so low.
Always, yeah. And even in lacrosse,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
hit the scoreboard
I've seen that.
often.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often in indoor though. I mean, but yeah, like I said, that is a problem. So like Brian O'Quinn can throw a ball pretty straight
Hmm.
on a line, where our goalies, even myself, we have to lob it a little bit to make the distance. So it gets kind of difficult to try to throw it to the right or left. And if you mishandle it, you can throw it out of the arena, and then it's a kick from the top
Throw
of
it
the
on the
box.
Broad Street.
Yeah,
So Dougie Miller said on I think it was on the broadcast. He said on Bob Matthews' show. His goal is 10 wins now. And right now you guys are at 6. Does that seem realistic?
I do think it seems realistic. Again, we got Harrisburg, I think, twice.
Yes.
We do have Syracuse 2 more times, I believe, or
Once
one.
more. Once
And
more.
I do believe we could beat Baltimore, which we got them twice. I know that, right?
Baltimore is. I'll pull it up in a second, but I think once more, maybe twice.
I think we had 2 more against
2 more.
Baltimore.
Okay. I mean, yeah, because right now 6 and 8, so 6 games to go.
Yeah, so we got 2 in Harrisburg.
So you got to figure those Harrisburg ones will be fairly easy victories. They're 0 and 12.
yeah,
Actually, they set an MASL record carrying over from the PASL for the most consecutive losses, 17 in a row.
it is what it is. I mean, I don't think they're a horrible team.
Mark, 3 games against Harrisburg.
Yeah, so that's 3 victories
Perfect.
right there. You got against Syracuse, we should be able to beat them again.
Don't pull the don't underestimate them though.
No. That's what I was just about to say. Is as Harrisburg's, they've been, battling with some of the teams, and they've been giving them a little bit of a run. But some of the teams, I don't. The problem with Harrisburg is they just can't finish 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Same problem we've had in some of our games.
Right.
The difference is we finish our 60 minutes when we're not playing well better than they do, and that's why we get the closer, games. But
So let's say 10, maybe 11 wins seems realistic.
I think definitely seems realistic. We definitely need to win those 10 or 11 games just so we have a little bit of a jolt going into the playoffs, so we got something going for us and get the momentum.
And then it'll be a best of 2 series against Syracuse, home and home, and then I think it'll be a 10-minute mini game, maybe 15.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a 10 or 15 minute
Okay,
minigame.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you guys are able to beat Syracuse, of course, be playing Baltimore. I heard it's a 1 game.
Yeah, I think it would be a 1 game in
I
Baltimore.
Don't get that.
I don't get that at all.
Why? I don't get it.
Also, I've noticed the mini game is becoming something that leagues across the board are starting.
Well, the
to do.
NLL took
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone's starting
Which
to love
was
mini games.
great.
Oh man.
Oh, that was awesome.
I don't know why they don't do a best of 3 though. I mean, it just
I
as a
makes
best of
a
I'm
little
three.
more
guessing
sense.
travel costs, things like that.
But the mini game is pretty cool.
Well,
It is.
if you did it that way, you can do home and away. So the team that's behind would be the away game or the home game first.
Mhm.
Then you go to the other team that's
The better record.
the better
yeah.
record, and then you play them. If you don't beat them, then you can have it scheduled for the following day and play the second game or something like that. I mean,
It's not a bad idea.
you're playing back-to-back games all the time,
Right.
all year, anyways. And the different, like I said, we go to Baltimore, then we got to drive 5 hours to play again back here in Rochester. You might as well. I mean, what's the difference if you play the next day?
I feel like it would probably be difficult to sell tickets. So let's say Baltimore's a good city, though.
Yeah,
I mean, and
they
so
get
is
a good
here.
crowd.
They get
But-
it. Yeah, I think they.
But I mean, if you play, let's say, like Friday in Rochester, then Sunday in Baltimore, and then Monday, Game 3 in Baltimore, that Monday game might be tough to sell. Just a guess.
No, I would say you'd play Saturday, Sunday though. You're not gonna because
I guess if
Friday,
they had
Saturday, Sunday.
No. Well, you don't. I don't think we
Play
play
like
back to back like that. I think
play
we
like
play
a
like
Tuesday in Rochester or something than like a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's what happens in actuality. So
Yeah.
I mean, it would work. I just don't think a 10-minute mini game is the way to decide it. But
and then that one game against Baltimore, I really don't get that.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I think, honestly, I
yeah,
think,
it will be tough for
I
Baltimore.
think it would be better for you guys to have the 2-game series because then you got 2 chances to win 1 game to get to the mini game. You know what I mean?
No, Baltimore is going to need the 2 chances to
All
win
right,
1
I
game.
like it.
But
I
the thing
like
is,
it.
even if say you're down 0-2 going into the mini game, if you win that, you go on even though you lost those first 2 games.
You don't play a mini game automatically. It's
No.
if we win one, they
that's
win
why
another.
Okay, that's what I was like.
You,
Wait,
A mini
if the
game's a
series
version-
is
like,
tied 1-1.
okay, that's
yeah.
what I. That's
the
what I
mini,
was thinking.
what
just the way
happens
you
is
were saying.
if we play here, we win. We play in Syracuse, they
Yeah.
win. Then we play a mini game right after that game in Syracuse for
just
10
like
minutes.
the
yeah.
NLL.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But it's just we'll see how it works with the whole having 1 game. We'll see how teams around the league like that.
So we're going to move on and talk a little hockey. Anthony Stover, the big man for the Rochester RazorSharks, coming up. He will be calling in about 15 minutes. The RazorSharks with a big victory this weekend. We do have a new sponsor, John and Mark, Rochester
Cool.
Sports and Physical Therapy 2. They're at 125 Red Creek Drive, right off of Calkins Road in Henrietta. It is your
Awesome.
home for all of your physical therapy needs. I've been going there to rehab my knee. The physical therapists there are great. Katie Edna, Katie's been doing it for over 20 years. She's wonderful. They have all the physical therapy equipment you could possibly need, whether you have knee surgery like me, back surgery, shoulder problems, sprained ankle, anything that requires physical therapy. Go on over to Rochester Sports and Physical Therapy 2 in Henrietta. Here's the best part. You do not even need a prescription from your doctor. Most insurances, I don't know if you guys knew this, cover at least 10 visits to a physical therapist for any reason. Don't even need a prescription.
Oh, that's awesome.
So give them a call today. Schedule your first visit. 334-8090. That's 334-8090. Rochester Sports and Physical Therapy. AHL All-Star Game is going on right now. Actually, in about 20 minutes from when we're recording this, the actual AHL All-Star Game will be going on down the road in Utica. Last night, if you're listening live, this was Sunday night, the skills competition took place. Our one representative from the Rochester Americans, Phil Veroni, and he did the puck control relay. He lost by about, and Mark, what they do, the puck control relay, they have like an obstacle course set up, and they have to dangle around all the cones and beat the other guy. He lost by 8 inches. It was really close.
Oh, wow.
And then they have a 3-on-0 relay where they have 3 opportunities to try to score on a goalie 3-on-0, which is really fun because it's just, it's like a skate and shoot, just dropping passes and all that. And I believe for the first time in skills competition history, there was an offside call during when Phil Veroni and his other 2, Bobby Sanguinetti of the Comets, and I forgot who the other guy was, their second opportunity, they got called offsides at the blue line, and then Phil Veroni tweeted out that he didn't even know there was offsides in the skills competition. I was like, anyone knew, but it was very interesting. Veroni actually, in their first trip down the ice, the 3-on-0, he netted a nice goal, just gorgeous shot, snapshot. Up top right corner, as Rick Jenneret used to say, where Mama hides the cookies.
Yep.
So I was thinking about this. The NHL All-Star Game Sunday was awful. I don't know if any of you caught any of it. The final score was 17-12.
Was that a lacrosse game?
There has never been less physical contact or less effort in an All-Star game in NHL history than yesterday. It was the bottom of it. It was fun. I mean, there were some great goals. Obviously, you got Patrick Kane out there with no defense, just dangling people, right? But it's always been a thing in the All-Star games in hockey where there's no hitting because guys don't want to get hurt. But now it's gone past no hitting. Now it's no contact. It's literally a skate.
It's gone from no hitting to no defense to no contact.
To nothing. I mean, the defenders just let the guy skate around. It's like the NBA All-Star game where there's no fouls anymore because they just let him go to the hoop. It's the same thing now.
Well, yeah, I guess I can understand that because it's one of those things where if someone gets hurt in that,
right? But I think it's gone too far. They had a fake fight. Seriously, Ovechkin started a fake fight in front of the net, and they pretended to fight, and the crowd cheered.
They have to cheer on something, right?
Yeah.
I think the fake fight's probably more exciting. I do not like All-Star games.
I like All-Star games, but this is too far. But it's a far cry from when Pete Rose trucked the catcher in the 1980
something like that. Yeah.
All-Star game, which you can't even do anymore in any baseball game. You're not allowed to truck the catcher. He did that in an All-Star game.
I do, however, think that in any sport, the only All-Star games worth watching is baseball because I love the home run derby.
Well, and because baseball, you can't really, for the actual game, there's not much you can do to change the game because there's not a lot of contact.
If you can't
anyways.
do contact in hockey, pretty soon you're not going to be able to hit a home run in the home run.
Yeah, they're like, all right, no home runs in the home run derby. We'll just go.
Like softball, men's softball.
No hitting it out of the park.
But I was thinking about what is the best format. Like the AHL has their All-Star game tonight. It's going to be the West versus the East, which I don't really like. I liked it better when they did Planet USA versus Canada.
That's the best.
So it was the Americans and all of the European players versus the Canadian players. And it was great because, when you go by nationality, at least there's a little something to play for. The Western Conference and the Eastern Conference and the AHL are irrelevant because Rochester's in the Western Conference. Utica is in the Western Conference. Syracuse, which is in between the two cities, is in the Eastern Conference. Binghamton, which is south of that, is in the Eastern Conference. It makes no sense geographically. And then Adirondack, which is east and north, is in the Western Conference. So there's no relevancy
I like
whatsoever.
Canada versus Planet USA.
Exactly. I don't know why they went back to the West versus East. My only thinking is maybe they thought that they want the home team to have one team to root for because now all the Utica Comets tonight are on the same team. They're all in the West. And they could root against Syracuse. They hate Syracuse.
Yes,
so
they do.
They also apparently hate Rochester because last night when Phil Varone was introduced before the skills competition, they have everyone line up and introduce him for television. They booed him because he's wearing a Rochester jersey.
We don't even think about Utica, though.
But apparently they hate Utica. Or they hate Rochester. They hate Rochester and Syracuse the most.
Huh, that's odd.
Syracuse, obviously, the most because right down the road. But they don't like Rochester.
Yeah, I knew that, too, that from just soccer experiences in the past. Yeah, I just knew that Utica was not, a big fan of Rochester.
It's like, why don't you, I don't know. It's kind of like, I get why us and Buffalo have that rivalry.
They probably don't like us because we get more snow than them or something. You know?
Actually, I don't know if we do. We don't have any snow this year.
Yeah,
39 inches
this year, but hey, we're due.
Oh yeah,
we're due.
When's it gonna happen?
When it happens, it's probably gonna happen pretty bad.
7 feet. We'll get our 7 feet. We'll get 9 feet. We'll beat Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I was thinking about what's the best format. I like the nationalities. That's what I like.
Are you saying for AHL and NHL?
Yeah, I think they should both go back.
The problem is not the problem, but for the NHL, I don't know. I mean, you got all these high rollers out there or whatever. I mean,
they're
put it at the end.
Put it
at the end of the season so these guys can actually do a little bump and hit and whatever, not killing each other because they're going to have respect for each other. But I mean, you put it in the middle of the season. What fun is it to even watch this All-Star game?
Right.
You know, I mean, every 30 seconds you got a face off because someone just scored a goal.
The problem is at the end of the season, it'd be even worse at the end of the season though because you got all the good players in the playoffs, so you'd only have teams that are out of the playoffs. Unless you're not going to put in July, they got to have their summer break. So I think that really the only thing you can do is put it
baseball.
Well, yeah, but you are anyways in May and June. But I think it's got to be in the middle of the season. But they just got to figure out a way to. You know what they should do? They should have some incentive. So in baseball, they made it so the winning league hosts Game 7 of the World Series, which has historically become a huge advantage because most of the time when a World Series goes 7 games, the team hosting Game 7 wins. So they got to figure out some way, maybe monetary. The winning side gets $100,000, something like that.
It almost seems though like this game is purely ceremonial, and that's kind of the way that the players seem to like it because it seems like it's distracting.
They enjoy it. They like not trying because they have fun with it. It's like a skate and shoot.
I think
but as
for
far
them,
as for the fans,
I think they enjoy it.
Yeah, but the problem is I agree with you 100%. But the problem is it ain't about you. It's about the fans.
It is right.
The
I
fans
agree.
pay for everything.
You'd know more than anyone. Yeah.
The fans pay for everything, you know. Like I said, I don't play soccer for the money. I play it for the fact that it's unbelievable playing in front of 7,000 people, and
Yeah.
and it's the same thing. You know, these hockey players they're all millionaires. They're playing in front of thousands of people that have paid $50 to $100 to $150 $200 to see them play. They want to see a little something. You know, you don't want to. Anybody can go out there and just skate around and flip shots or whatever. You know, you want to see a little bump and a little press.